Joel Klatt putting some makeup on to look perfect. You might as well, because you are going to be under fire here, Joel Klatt.
Why am I under fire?
Yeah,
it's just one game. It's just one game.
By the way,
just
you
relax.
and I, we were on that Colorado over Nebraska thing.
What is this we?
Oh.
I was on it, and you were like, that's not an upset. And I was telling you it was, and then they won.
Whatever. I don't remember. So Nick Saban said something. Can you play the tape on Nick Saban? Because I saw this yesterday. Let's play this, and I want Joel Klatt to react to this, Mr. College Football at our network. Here's Nick Saban grumpy this week. When USC was throttling people, Pete Carroll always got Auburn, Virginia Tech, Ohio State. It's funny, Pete Carroll's phones must be different than Nick Saban's phones, because when USC was Alabama, never had a problem. By the way, LSU, to their credit, has gone out. Georgia got Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Okay, because Georgia was willing to go.
Well, there's part of this that I think he's right and wrong at the same time. He's right. He's been a champion of I'll play anybody, anywhere. Generally not at their stadium.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so here's what happens. They call up whoever, right? It can be they call up Ohio State. Let's just say it's Ohio State.
I'm Ohio State.
Hey, Urban at the time.
Yeah.
You want to play?
Sure.
All right, it's going to be in Atlanta.
Well, I know you come here, then I'll go there.
No. Just Atlanta. Just one
Why would
time.
I want to go to the South?
Well, because we're closer to Atlanta, so it'll feel like more of a home game to us. So we want you to come down to Atlanta.
Oh, why don't we play in Indianapolis?
No. Atlanta. The dome there, close to our campus.
Yeah, but Nick, you said you go anywhere, you'll play anybody. But
no. Yeah, I'll play you anywhere. Atlanta.
Yeah. So
that's where it's a little bit. And it's not Alabama's fault necessarily, because it's not their job to make their schedule equitable as it relates to the rest of the country. They've scheduled for championships better than anybody else out there, and they should, because that's afforded them with the autonomy that they have.
Then don't go and say we'll play anybody. No, you won't.
That's true. Now, to his credit, that what they have done in the future, and I think we have this to put up, they have changed their tune on this conversation, this mock conversation that we just had, because what they have done now what you see is next year they're going to see USC at a neutral site, then Miami at a neutral site, but then starting in 2022 at Texas, home and home, Wisconsin, home and home, West Virginia, home and home, Notre Dame, home and home.
You know why they're
Oklahoma.
doing it? Because of guys like me and you banging on it.
That's true.
The only reason they're doing this is us. If the media didn't put pressure on Nick, he'd play Citadel and Panera Bread 9 times a year.
And there's also an element of people are worried, even at the top end of college football, about home attendance.
Yes.
Like Texas, for example. Because Texas plays Oklahoma in Dallas in the Cotton Bowl, they don't, and A&M is not on their schedule anymore. They don't have any quality home opponents.
I agree.
For their season ticket holders.
So go call USC and somebody else.
Well, that's what they're doing. So that's why they've got to bring in LSU, and they've got to bring in some of these. I think Texas has Ohio State on their schedule, and they've had to do that. Chris Del Conte, their AD, has had to do that in order to bolster their home schedule so that he can sell tickets. So listen, Nick Saban is not wrong. People did not want to play them because it was neutral sites generally closer to Alabama's campus. Now that they'll go home and home, I'm hoping that more people will put them on their schedule, which they have coming up in the future. I can fix the college football schedule tomorrow if they would just allow me to be the commissioner. Let's play NFL style of schedule. First place in the SEC plays first place in whatever scheduling partner you have in the Big 10 or the Big 12 or whatever it is. That way, without you having to do it as an athletic director or a head coach, and we can avoid this awkward conversation about, no, I want to play here. I'm just going to tell you, hey, Alabama, you got to go to Ohio State this year, and you're going to have Washington come to your place. Who wouldn't want to see Washington go to Tuscaloosa this year and Alabama go to Ohio State just because they all won their conference?
Thank you. All right, so this is not really a college topic, but you've been so pro Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I don't know if your television work last week.
It did.
Wasn't great for Baker. Pick.
The 18 penalties were not his fault. The atrocious offensive line play was not his fault.
But by the way, Tom's offense doesn't have all those penalties. I think it is Baker's fault. He's the quarterback. What did you make of, by the way, he didn't wear a shirt this offseason. Look at my chest hair. Here's a Cobra next to me. Fast drink. Energy.
Listen, when you wake up feeling dangerous, you sit next to a Cobra.
Be honest about it, though.
It was. Listen, that train fell into the river. I mean, it was a bad week, but it's going to happen in the NFL. I think they'll ultimately be all right. You don't think so?
I don't think.
Let's make a friendly wager right now.
Okay, I will.
Okay, what would you like to take? You set the number, and I'll take the over.
I already set my number. They're going to go 9-7 and beat a bunch of crappy teams down the stretch to make you think they're good, but they're not that great of a team. I think they're the third best team in their division.
Do they go to the playoffs?
No. So you say yes.
I say they go to the playoffs.
Okay. So what's the bet?
I'm not sure yet.
Hey, I'll tell you what's dangerous, making a bet with this guy. I'm like a wizard over here.
Let's bring a cobra in, and one of us has to get within 5 feet of it just because we're feeling dangerous.
But remember, when you watched Baker this weekend, you knew when you watched that, Cowherd's going to be so obnoxious.
Yeah, of course. Well, listen, obnoxious and you go hand in hand. It's like does the day end in Y? So I knew you were going to be obnoxious about it. I knew I was going to have to come on here and answer to Baker is going to be fine. The dude is a great player. I really believe that. And we'll see how it all pans out this year.
Okay.
I'm more actually wait and see with the Freddie Kitchens things. I don't
Yeah. Kitchen nightmare right there. Okay. So Lynn Swann resigned as AD at USC. Now, that's a very interesting thing. The USC, the big boosters, are not into Clay Helton. They're not.
Right.
But they got a new coordinator, smart young guy.
Yeah, Graham Harrell.
Does a very good job. And then they got this freshman quarterback. Oh, Lord, this like 3-star, nobody watched him play in high school kid comes in and now sets every USC freshman record. My question is, if USC, they beat BYU this weekend, they lose, let's say, to Notre Dame. If they go 10-2, can you fire Clay Helton? Even if you know he's been there 5 years, the program's not even national. What do you do?
I think that 100% of their focus outside of the coaching staff and the team, okay, if you take the team outside of this, you're talking about the administration, right? Decisions with hiring and firing, right? What do they do with Clay Helton potentially? This and that.
Yeah.
If you're just talking about administrative decisions, first and foremost, I would put 100% of my time and effort into hiring the best possible athletic director.
Because they've been former player stuff and a lot of politics and a lot of it's been really not good.
Yeah, I'm friends with boosters and I played. That should make me a good AD. And I think that they need to get away from the USC family. And there are a lot of great candidates out there.
Absolutely.
The guy at Washington State is a really, really good AD. Watch out for him. I think his last name is Chun.
Jennifer Cohen at Washington's remarkable AD.
She's a remarkable AD. There are a lot of people that are fundraising animals out there, and they can do a great job.
You didn't answer my question, though. He goes 10-2. Do you keep him?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't answer that question yet because I think that question has to be answered by the next athletic director. So that's why, for me, it's cart before the horse.
Do you think Clay Helton's the future of USC football? Do you think he can go toe-to-toe with Nick Saban, Dabo Swinney? Because USC's brand is bigger than Clemson.
I don't know yet.
Holy Lord.
I don't know yet.
Why?
Because
what are you not seeing?
If you were to ask me at halftime last week against Stanford or when they were down 17-3, I would have said, yeah, this is going on their trajectory that I kind of thought it was going to go. And then from that moment, 42-3 run against Stanford with a true freshman quarterback and the offensive and defensive lines actually showing something. That's the biggest revelation about USC is that on the line of scrimmage, they're much better than they have been in the last few years. And then, Colin, then you've got Lynn stepping down. Those two revelations, that quarterback and their AD stepping down, I think actually could be the turning point for USC. I think we could be sitting here in 3 years. I don't know if it's going to be Clay or not, but I think we could be sitting here maybe even at the end of next season and thinking to ourselves, boy, that was the turning point for USC to get them back pointed in the right direction. Think of this. Not even Texas can overcome a lack of administrative cohesiveness. Right? Like Texas's school was a mess. Their AD position was a mess. Then their coaching position was a mess. It goes kind of top down like that. Well, USC has figured out their president. I think she's a really smart lady. If they figure out their AD, then he or she can figure out the head coaching, and then their program will be figured out. Right. Again, this is a big turning point for USC in a positive direction.
All right, throw up your top 10 real quick here for Klatt. I don't have any real problems with it. By the way,
Wisconsin in there. That's
by the way, you got
most.
Michigan out of there. We are both Harbaugh fans.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just say it right now. I think he's a great coach.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay. Jim Harbaugh has done a poor job recruiting and developing quarterbacks at Michigan. I'm sorry. Shea Patterson is not better this year. His line's better. His receivers are better. He's not better.
Yeah.
Harbaugh is failing as a quarterback developer. He was an NFL quarterback. Come on.
This whole system change. Listen, he has really given the keys to Josh Gaddis, their new offensive coordinator, and this is the first time he's been calling plays. Their offense was a disaster last week, a total disaster.
I mean, listen, at least Army, you knew what they could do well. After that game was over, I'm like, what does Michigan do well?
I don't know, and now they've got a bye week before they travel to Madison and play Wisconsin, who has not given up a point yet this season.
And Michigan State looks great, by the way.
Their defense looks incredible.
Unbelievable.
So Michigan's in for it now. They've got an incredibly tough schedule. Remember, in the middle of the season, they've got 7 straight consecutive weeks against the Power 5 or Notre Dame, and when they face Notre Dame, it's going to be after 2 straight road games, Penn State being one of them, and Notre Dame's going to be on a bye.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.